All right, so just a quick recap. Our methods for solving linear systems of equations. So we looked at graphing. You can graph it manually or put it into your graphing calculator. Putting it into your graphing calculator, you have to make sure it was in y equals form. Then we looked at our two methods of solving systems of linear equations algebraically, which was substitution and elimination. So what we're going to look at today is problem solving. So basically applications of systems of linear equations in problem solving form. So the steps are listed here on how to go about solving these word problems. So firstly, introduce the variables to represent the unknown values. Then you're going to form a system of equations involving those variables. You're going to solve the system, and then you can answer the problem and you can verify the solution. So those are the steps. All right, so our first example we have here is the difference between two numbers is 9. The larger number is 3 more than twice the smaller number. Find the numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is introduce variables to represent the unknown variables. So select the variables you're going to use. So let x equal the larger number, and we'll say y, let y equal to the smaller number. All right, so now we have stated what our variables are going to represent. So now we know that the difference between the two numbers is 9. So that means x minus y is going to equal to 9. So that's our first equation. Secondly, we know that the larger number is 3 more than twice the smaller number. So the larger number we had said is equal to x. So x is equal to 2y plus 3. All right, meaning the larger number is 3 more, so 3 more than twice the smaller number. So 2y, twice the smaller number, plus 3. So now we have our two equations. And since this is already an x equals form, we can use substitution. So I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to substitute it into the first equation. So I'm going to take 2y plus 3 and I'm going to substitute it right into here in the first equation. That's what I'm going to show right here. So 2y plus 3 minus y equals 9. All right, so all I've done is taken x is equal to 2y plus 3. I substituted it into x into the first equation. So 2y plus 3, then we had the minus y, and it's equal to 9. All right, now I can go ahead and solve for y. All right, so solving for y, this just opens up the bracket. So 2y plus 3 minus y is equal to 9. 2y minus y, that leaves me with just y. And I'm going to subtract the 3 on this side. So subtract 3, 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. So I get that y is equal to 6. So y is equal to 6. Now I can take this and I'm going to substitute into the second equation. Don't substitute it back into itself. We've already used the first equation here. So we've solved for y. You have to take that y now and substitute it into the second equation. Our second equation is x equals 2y plus 3. I'm going to substitute 6 into the y. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So I get x is equal to 15. All right, so go back up to what those represent. We had said that x represents the larger number and y represents the smaller number. All right, so our x here, our larger number is 15 and our smaller number is 6. The last thing you would do is just do a verification or a check. I'll quickly review that here on how to do the verification. So basically, y equals 6 and x equals 15 has to work for both equations. So our first equation was x minus y equals 9. And our second equation was x equals 2y plus 3. So when we substitute 15 for x and 6 for y, left side has to equal to right side. So here our y is, our x first is 15, our y is 6, so 15 minus 6 has to equal to 9, 15 minus 6 is equal to 9, both sides are equal, so therefore that's verified. Next side, our x is 15 equals to 2 times 6 plus 3. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3 is equal to 15. Left side is equal to right side, so it is verified for both equations. Our next example, we have that the perimeter of a rectangle is 40 meters. The width is 4 meters less than the length. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. So if we draw this out, a rectangle like this, and we'll call x meters our length, and we'll call y meters as our width. All right, and we know for perimeter, it's 2 times x plus 2 times y, and we know that our perimeter is equal to 40. So that will be our first equation, is 2x plus 2y is equal to 40. Next, we know that the width is 4 meters less than the length. All right, so our width, which is y, is 4 meters less than the length. So it's x minus 4. All right, so in this case, again, we have our second equation is already in y equals form, so we can substitute this into the first equation. So sub into first equation. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to substitute this x minus 4 into this y here. So we get 2x plus 2, and our y is x minus 4, and that's equal to 40. All right, so work out this bracket here. Multiply everything in that bracket with 2. So we get 2x plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 40. Collect your like terms, 2x and 2x, that's 4x. I'm going to take that negative 8 over to the other side by adding. So 4x is equal to 40 plus 8, which is 48. Divide by 4 on both sides. And we get x is equal to 12. All right, so since this was the first equation, when we take our x equals 12, we have to substitute it into the second equation. So sub into second equation. All right, so our second equation, which is y equals x minus 4. So y is equal to 12 minus 4, and y is equal to 8. All right, so there we have X is equal to 12, y is equal to 8, but what does that actually mean? So go back to what we had stated here. We had said that X is our length and y was our width. So therefore, our length is 12 meters and our width is 8 meters. All right, so our next example has to do with money. So Gary had a total of $260 in $5 bills and $10 bills. If he has 33 bills in total, how many of each denomination does he have? So basically, how many $5 bills does he have and how many $10 bills does he have? So from our information that we're given, let's make X. Let's say X is equal to number of $5 bills. So number of $5 bills. And let's make our Y equal to the number of $10 bills. All right, so now looking at what we were given, we know that his total is $260 in $5 bills and $10 bills. So we can make up our first equation, which would be 5x, so $5 representing x, plus $10, which represents our y, is equal to $260. All right, and we know that he has 33 bills in total. So that means x plus y equals 33. So notice how I kept my first equation as the money or dollar amounts, $5 x and $10 y equals to $260. And then my second equation is bills in total. So x plus y, my $5 bills and my $10 bills, there's a total of 33 bills. All right, so now we have our two equations. And for this, we can use elimination. I can multiply my second equation, I can multiply it by 5, and then I can eliminate my x variable. All right, so I'm just going to rewrite this out. So I'm going to rewrite out the first equation, 5x plus 10y equals 260. And my second equation, I'm going to multiply everything by 5. So that becomes 5x plus 5y equals 33 times 5, which is 33 times 5, which is 165. All right, so I have a 5x and 5x, so I can subtract the two equations to eliminate the x variable. So 5x minus 5x, that's gone. 10y minus 5y leaves me with 5y. And then 260 minus 165 is 95. Divide by 5 on both sides, and we get that y is equal to 19. All right, so now we have that y is equal to 19. In elimination, you can take that y equals 19 and you can substitute it into either equation. That's one of the differences with substitution. So I can just take that and substitute it into my x plus y equals 33. So I know my y is 19, so x plus 19 equals 33. subtract 19 on both sides, and I get x is equal to 14. All right, so now I have solved for both my x and my y, but what does that mean? So that means that I have x is equal to 14, so that means I have 14 $5 bills, and my y was equal to 19, so that means I have 19 $10 bills. All right, so my last thing here, I would just write out a sentence. So there are 14 $5 bills and 19 $10 bills. All right, so our next example, cashew nuts costing $22 per kilogram are mixed with Brazil nuts costing $16 per kilogram. The mixture weighs 50 kilograms and it sells for $18 per kilogram. So how many kilograms of each type of nut were used in the mixture? All right, so let's start by representing our variables. So x, we'll call x the number, a kilogram of cashew nuts. Just going to say number of kilograms of cashews. And y, we'll say, is number of kilograms of the Brazil nuts. Okay, so what do we know? We know that the mixture weighs 50 kilograms, so x plus y is going to equal to 50 kilograms. And we also know that it's $22 per kilogram for cashews, and it's $16 per kilogram for Brazil nuts. So our second equation is going to be a 22x, 22 times x, plus 16y is equal to, it sells for 18 kilograms. So it's equal to 18. All right. So what we could do for this equation is I'm just going to represent this one here. I'm just going to make it equal, make the equation y equals. That way I can substitute it into the second equation. So y is equal to 50 minus x. All right, so what I can do now is I can substitute that into the y. So just substituting that in, 16 times the y, and it's equal to 18 times 90, which is 18 times 50. I don't know why I said 90 is equal to 900. And then we'll multiply this out here. All right, so we get 22x, and then 16 times 50, which is 800, and then minus 16x is equal to 900. All right, collect our like terms here. So 22 minus 16, which is 6x. And I'm going to subtract the 800 over to this side, so that leaves me with 100. And then to just divide by 6 on both sides. And you can reduce that. 100 over 6, we can just reduce that to 50 over 3. And then we've just written it, we can just write it as a mixed fraction because that's an improper fraction. So we can just write it as a mixed fraction, so 16 and 2/3. All right, so that is what x is equal to. All right, so now we can take this value and substitute it into our first equation, y equals 50 minus x, which I will do just right over here. So y is equal to 50 minus x. So y is equal to 50 minus 16 2/3. All right, and then you can just put that into your calculator, and we get 33 1/3. All right, and remember, you can use your math button to put any decimals back into fraction. All right, so lastly, we just have to write our sentence, what amounts of each. So the mixture had 16 2/3 kilograms of cashew nuts and 33 1/3 kilograms of Brazil nuts. So I'm running out of room here, so I'm just going to write that was our amount of cashew in kilograms. And I'll just add kilograms here and kilograms here, and this is our amount of Brazil nuts. All right, so this last example we're going to look at is from a previous module. This is from lesson 2 in Systems of Linear Equations, page 621. So I'm just going to read this out and then we'll work through it. So as part of a high school work experience course, 3 students have been placed in 3 different burger restaurants. Deja has been placed at Burger Shack, Shelly has been placed at Big's Burgers, and then John's been placed at Burger Haven. Detailed below are the first 2 orders taken by each student and the total cost calculated by the student for each order. So if we look at the first order from Burger Shack, Deja charges $28 for 4 burgers and 2 salads. And then for the second order, she charges $34 for 6 burgers and a salad. Then from Big's Burgers, Shelly charges $18 for a burger and 3 salads, and then $54 for 3 burgers and 9 salads. And then Burger Haven, it's $32 for 2 burgers and 4 salads, and then $42 for 3 burgers and 6 salads. So what we can do is come up with equations for each burger place. So for Burger Shack, Big's Burgers, and Burger Haven. So for Burger Shack, it was $28 for 4 burgers. So 4, we'll call X for burgers. I'm just going to make a note of that here. X we'll call burgers. And Y is for salads. All right, so 4 burgers and 2 salads. So 4X plus 2Y. And it was $28. And then the second order, she charged $34 for 6 burgers, so you would say 6x, and then it was 1 salad, so plus y, and that total cost was $34. So that's at Burger Shack. And then Big's Burgers was the second place. Big's Burgers, Shelly charges $18 for a burger and 3 salads. So 1 burger and 3 salads, it cost $18. And the second order was $54 for 3 burgers and 9 salads. So 3x plus 9y is equal to 54. And then the last place was the Burger Haven. I'll just do it right here. And for Burger Haven, it was John, and John charged $32 for 2 burgers, so 2x, and then it was 4 salads, so 4y, and he charged $32. And the second order, it was $42 for 3 burgers and 6 salads. So 3x plus 6y equals 42. Alright, so that is basically how you would get all the equations for the different burger places. Alright, so what we're going to do is for Burger Shack, we're going to take our 2 equations and we're going to put them into y equals form. So our first equation was 4x plus 2y equals 28. And I'm just going to subtract the 4x. So I end up with 2y equals negative 4x plus 28. And then divide by 2 on both sides. And we end up with y is equal to negative 4x divided by 2 is negative 2x. And then 28 divided by 2 is 14. So that's our first equation. I'll just put it in the box here. Our second equation from Burger Shack was right here, 6x plus y equals 34. So 6x plus y equals 34. So I'm just going to put that into y equals form as well. That one's easy. We just have to subtract the 6x over to this side. So y equals negative 6x plus 34. All right, and those are our 2 equations. And to figure out, in this example, to figure out what is the cost of a burger and what is the cost of a salad, we can just graph this in our graphing calculator. So our 2 equations I've put into the graphing calculator. So the first equation was y equals negative 2x plus 14, and our second equation was negative 6x plus 34. And I'm going to graph, and this is what the graph looks like. So now to figure out the cost of a burger and the cost of a salad, I can just find out the intersection point here. So second function trace, and go down to intersect, which is number 5. It'll ask you first curve, press enter. It'll ask you second curve, press enter. Then it'll say guess, question mark, press enter. And our intersection point is x equals 5 and y equals 4. So x is equal to 5, y is equal to 4. Basically, our intersection point then was 5, 4. But what does that mean? That means our burgers, which were represented by x, at Burger Shack, our burger costs $5, and a salad costs $4.